Hello everyone, welcome to or back to the channel. I'm Origin Gaming and this is Fallout 4, but Maximus and Lucy take on the Commonwealth. If you've seen my other series about Nate and Nora going into the Commonwealth together, then this video will be a similar concept. In fact, it's the Nora companion mod that I've used here to create a quote-unquote Lucy companion, as at least at the time that I started recording this video, there is no true Lucy companion mod yet. So I used the character creator to change Nora to make her look like Lucy in order to get a Lucy companion. I'm playing on the Xbox, and all the mods used for this playthrough will be listed in the description. This video will encompass the full Fallout 4 story, as I imagine it would have taken place had Maximus and Lucy been its protagonists, rather than the sole survivor. I'm aware that doesn't make any sense with the timeline, as the show takes place 10 years after, but we're just gonna roll with it. With that out of the way, let's get right into the video. Upon first arriving in the Commonwealth, Maximus and Lucy found a red rocket truck stop, and with it, a canine companion.
Okay then, let's stick together.
Immediately after meeting their new friend, Maximus and Lucy were ambushed by mole rats. The three of them together were easily able to fend off the attack. Next, the three headed to Concord, where they found some settlers in need of help.
The raiders are almost through the door. Grab that laser musket and help us, please.
Using this new laser musket, Maximus, Lucy, and Dogmeat were able to clear out all of the raiders in the Museum of Freedom and eventually rescue the captives.
Man, I don't know who you are, but your timing's impeccable. We could use some more goodwill. As you can see, we're in a bit of a mess here.
Don't worry. I'll help you deal with these raiders. Let's do this.
Well, all right. Maybe our luck's finally turning around. Once you jack the core into the power armor and grab that minigun, those raiders will know they picked the wrong fight. Good luck.
With the fusion core that they acquired earlier, Maximus used it to power up the power armor, grab the minigun, and take the fight to the raiders.
Why don't you get down here? Show me that forensic gun up close. Not a lot of people get that, my boy. Give you that.
Although with the help of the minigun, Maximus was quickly able to dispatch the raiders, there was something much larger lurking beneath the streets and the sewers. Eventually, with a couple of well-placed shots from Lucy, the two of them were able to defeat the Deathclaw. Maximus and Lucy returned to Sanctuary with the survivors from the Museum of Freedom, and Maximus gave Lucy a turn in the power armor when they set off on their next mission. Maximus decided to ditch his Brotherhood fatigues and change into something a little more befitting of a Minuteman. On their way to help the settlers of Ten Pines Bluff, Maximus and Lucy also came across an abandoned satellite array that was filled with raiders. The trio fought their way through the exterior and interior of the satellite array until they were eventually able to defeat the raider boss. Eventually, they arrived at Ten Pines Bluff to see what the settlers there needed.
We don't need any more trouble around here.
I'm with the Minutemen. I'm here to help.
You're with the Minutemen? I didn't really think you fellas still existed. We sent word with one of them passing traders. But honestly, I never expected anything to come of it. Most people don't put much stock in the Minutemen these days. After Quincy. Bad business, that. No question that things have been worse since the Minutemen fell to pieces. There's a raider gang that's been giving us trouble for weeks. Stealing food and supplies, threatening to kill us all if we don't pony up. We know where they're coming from. but we can't go up against a gang like that.
Maximus and Lucy began their journey south towards the Corvega assembly plant in Lexington, but first came across the Bedford station that was completely filled with ghouls. Lucy was able to shred through most of them quite easily with the minigun. Eventually, the three of them made their way to the Corvega assembly plant, sneaking in the back way through a pipe, and fighting their way through waves of raiders until they eventually met the raider boss. After defeating the raider boss, they returned to Ten Pines Bluff to give the good news.
That's the best piece of news we've had around here for a good long time. So we've been talking. We decided if you came through for us, we'd join up with the Minutemen again. If we want things to get better, we've got to start helping each other.
After successfully recruiting their first settlements to the Minutemen, Lucy and Maximus set out to build a new settlement at Sunshine Tidings Co-op, but on their way were intercepted by some ghouls around Gorski Cabin. They cleared some super mutants from the nearby dam and some additional ghouls from Sunshine Tidings itself, before eventually setting up a radio beacon and having their second official settlement added to the Minutemen. On the way back to Sanctuary, Maximus ran into Blake Abernathy and had some good news for him.
I don't have much to offer, but those raiders that killed Mary, they took her locket too. It's been in Connie's family for generations. If you could get it back, it'd mean a lot to us.
I think I found the locket you're talking about.
You serious? That's great news. Connie's gonna be speechless. Whatever the Minutemen need, you can count on us. We got a decent workshop here, and Connie's sure to go leaner on her prices after what you've done.
Having amassed a couple of settlements now, Preston Garvey had a new plan to strengthen the Minutemen going forward.
I think it's time to retake the castle. It used to be the Minutemen HQ, way before my time. Well fortified, centrally located, and most important, it has a powerful radio transmitter we can use to broadcast to the whole Commonwealth.
Lucy and Maximus began the long trip down south towards the castle, running into many ghouls, super mutants, and other threats along the way. While making a quick pit stop in Diamond City for some supplies, Lucy and Maximus also helped a man named Sheffield, who they then got to join the Minutemen.
Need a Nuka-Cola.
That's sweet of you.
Ah, thank you. Thank you.
Free shopping, right here.
After a long journey, Lucy, Maximus, and Dogmeat eventually arrived at the castle and joined the Minutemen as they began to plan their assault.
Hey,
Everyone's here, General. There it is. Pretty impressive, huh? Its real name is Fort Independence, but the Minutemen always just called it the castle. Now you can see why I wanted to take it back. Our primary objective is to clear the courtyard. That's where we should see the most opposition. The wall on this side is the most exposed. But if we circle around south, we could also reach the main gate.
What are we waiting for? Let's just get in there and shoot those lobsters.
No. If we split up, we can flank them from both sides. It'll be like shooting fish in a barrel.
Why not let them come to us? We set up a firing line on this side and you can draw them out.
Well, General, what do you think?
set up a firing line, and I'll draw them out.
I'm in. Let's do this.
Sounds good. We'll hold back and wait for them to come to us. Just don't get yourself trapped in there. All right, people. You heard the General. Let's move out.
This plan worked fairly well, as Maximus was able to clear out a good chunk of the Mirelurks with a sniper rifle and draw the rest of them out into the traps where the firing line was able to finish them off. Before long, they were able to clear the entire courtyard of Mirelurks. After defeating the Mirelurks, the Minutemen moved into the courtyard to begin clearing the clutches of eggs. Unfortunately, by doing so, they unwittingly upset the Mirelurk Queen. It took a lot of gunfire and explosives, but eventually the Minutemen defeated the Queen.
Hey,
Wow, we really did it. I've been watching the Minutemen fall to pieces for so long, I just... Now we've got to pay off on what we've started. Bring the whole Commonwealth together and make it last this time. So, you know, back to business.
Following their success at the castle, Lucy and Maximus returned to Abernathy Farm as they heard there was an impending super mutant horde poised to attack them.
Mr. Abernathy?
I can't believe it. We won! We couldn't have done it without your help. The Minutemen came through for us, and we won't forget it.
After successfully defending Abernathy Farm, Maximus and Lucy headed back down south towards Grey Garden to help a group of robots there that had requested assistance from the Minutemen.
Did you need help with something?
Why, yes. That's what I was getting at, dear. The water. It's simply ghastly. Pressure's down. Radiation is up. Why, it's practically toxic. Just think what it must be doing to my skin. This will never do. If you Minutemen can lend us a hand, I'll be eternally grateful.
Maximus and Lucy headed to the nearby water treatment plant to get the pumps back up and running, but found the plant was completely surrounded by a horde of super mutants. By drawing the super mutants towards them and using a few well-placed grenades, Maximus and Lucy were able to defeat the super mutants, despite being outnumbered. After clearing out the exterior and fighting through a few Mirelurks on the inside, Lucy and Maximus were able to drain the entire facility and get the main pump back online. After completing yet another dangerous mission together and returning back up to the surface, Lucy decided to pull Maximus to the side to have a real conversation about their feelings for each other.
Hey, got a minute?
Anything you need.
Thank you. You know and I know that between the two of us, there's nothing that can stand in our way to make this a better world. So, I was wondering if we could get to know each other better. But it depends. Do you more than like me?
Are you hitting on me?
Finally! You can't take a hint, can you?
You look as beautiful as the day we met.
Yes. Even after all we've done, you've certainly made a difference to me. And the destination's not worth it if you're not a part of the journey. Because I don't think I'd be happier with anyone else.
I'm in love with you. And I don't think I'd be happier with anyone else.
You've shown me how to be a better person. What you said to me before, coming from you, it means a lot. I realize now that I'm in love with you too. Thank you. Let's get out of here.
After their heart-to-heart, Maximus and Lucy headed up towards Oberlin Station to see what they needed.
You've got to help. My sister's been kidnapped. They said they'd be back for the ransom in a few days. If I don't pay up, they'll kill her. But I don't have that kind of money.
I'll get her back.
We asked the Minutemen for help, but I didn't really think anyone would come. Just bring her back safe, okay?
Maximus and Lucy fought through the raiders on the outside and inside of the Backstreet Apparel store in order to rescue the sister of the woman from Oberlin Station, who was held hostage there.
How much time you got? Yeah, I have a few. Let me see.
After Lucy and Maximus rescued the hostage and successfully gained the support of another settlement for the Minutemen, they returned to the castle where they met Ronnie Shaw.
Ah, there you are. Finally. I've been waiting to talk to you.
What did you need?
I'm Ronnie Shaw, Commonwealth Minutemen. At least I was. Back before Joe Becker got himself killed and the idiots took over.
We can use some more veterans around here.
Well, you're right about that. I feel like some of these you've got still may need their diapers changed. I'm probably the only one who still remembers this, but the castle's armory was located in the West Bastion. All of our best equipment was stored in there. Weapons, ammo, schematics, you name it. Come on, I'll show you.
Lucy, Maximus, and Ronnie were able to find an alternate route into the armory, but not without defeating its guardian, Sarge.
Over here.
United we stand.
Below the castle, Maximus found and put on the uniform of the General of the Minutemen. With their numbers growing and now having access to artillery, the Minutemen felt emboldened to begin taking on the biggest threat of the Commonwealth, the Institute. With information gained by a Minutemen scout, Maximus and Lucy assaulted Fort Hagen, looking for information that could ultimately lead to them finding a way into the Institute. They gave the information they found at Fort Hagen over to Sturgis, and then returned to their work helping the people of the Commonwealth. Shortly following their assault of Fort Hagen, Lucy and Maximus found Vault 81, where they decided to help out where they could, and ended up finding the cure for a deadly mole rat disease infecting a child there named Austin. After finishing their business at Vault 81, Lucy and Maximus headed towards County Crossing. The settlers at County Crossing requested Maximus and Lucy clear out some nearby ghouls at the National Guard training yard. While returning to County Crossing to give them the good news, Lucy and Maximus were informed by the radio that the Institute was preparing for an assault on the castle. By the time they were able to get back to the castle, they found that the Minutemen had already successfully repelled the Institute forces.
You may wonder why you survived and your friend didn't. I'm afraid that's above my pay grade. All I can say is that it's up to us to make that sacrifice mean something. But we don't have time to sit around moping about our losses or bragging about winning. We're the Minutemen, gold darn it! And that means we've always got to be ready for the next fight. Let's get back to it, people.
Maximus and Lucy immediately got geared up to take the fight back to the Institute.
I'll get the details from Sturgis while you get the Minutemen ready to attack.
Yes, sir.
I found your way into the Institute. One of the things in the data you stole was a plan of the whole Institute complex, including the older sections that used to be part of CIT. Turns out they're still using an old water pipe that runs out to the river. Brings in cooling water to their reactor. Its entrance is underwater, and is blocked by a security grate. Also, the whole pipe is labeled high radiation danger, but there isn't any other way in that I can find. So it's this, or nothing.
Maximus and Lucy snuck into the Institute using the old maintenance pipe that Sturgis found on the holotape. Once in the Institute, Maximus and Lucy activated the relay and allowed the rest of the Minutemen to come in. Along with the full force of the Minutemen, Maximus and Lucy fought their way through the whole Institute until they eventually reached the reactor room. After clearing the reactor room, Maximus placed the fusion pulse charge on the reactor core in order to detonate it and destroy the Institute, the greatest threat to the Commonwealth, once and for all.
Aye. We need to get out of here and fast before they figure out what we've done. Okay, let's move. Sturgis is a safe distance outside the blast rate.
Holy shit. That
was one hell of a bang, wasn't it? So that's it. The Institute is destroyed. It's finally over. You did issue the evacuation order, right? I didn't notice in all the chaos.
We gave everyone a chance to get out.
Good. I thought so. It was just watching that explosion. I just hope as many people as possible got out. I hate that we had to do that. But they left us no choice. It was war. But now, the war against the Institute is over. The way is now clear for the Commonwealth to finally come together and build something good for the future. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows from here on out. The Institute was the most insidious threat we've ever faced. They kept the Commonwealth divided for centuries. But there are plenty of other problems left to deal with. I don't think the Minutemen are going to be out of a job for a long time yet. As much as I might wish it.
Maximus and Lucy would continue to lead the Minutemen and build a better future for the Commonwealth. Maximus grew up wanting to be a knight of the Brotherhood of Steel, but now he stood for something that was truly the justice that he once believed the Brotherhood stood for. He was the general of the Minutemen. Lucy grew up believing that Vault-Tec was the world's only hope for continuing and rebuilding the human race through Reclamation Day. Now, Lucy is fulfilled, taking part in the true rebuilding of society without the twisted desires of Vault-Tec. I want to thank you all for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. If you'd like to see more of this kind of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you did enjoy this video, you might also like my Nate and Nora series, which the link to the playlist should be on the screen now. Thank you all once again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.